Hello everybody, welcome to Miss Keswi class. Today we are going to be learning how to make an invisible part wig, and this is our first wig that we always teach our students, so get ready to learn so much today. My name is Keswi and I'm your instructor for today. So the first thing you have to do is you have to put on your wig on your mannequin, and I'm using this mannequin, really old mannequin. I love it. And this is the hair I'm using. It's Lovina, but you can use any kind of hair you want for your invisible parting. Any kind of hair, as long as it's straight or curved, whatever kind of hair you love. So don't worry. So I'm starting with the long one because I'm going for like a long bob. So I want to start with the long one, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'll open up this hair. Now, you have to know that when you're using hairs, you have to determine how many packs you want to use. Normally, if you're using simple hair, you have to use 2 packs. But now I'm using a pack, but it's fuller than a regular 1 pack. So I believe this 1 pack should be enough. So the first thing I did is I'm measuring the back, as you guys can see, from one end to the other. And once I measure this, I'm going to cut the length that I want, and then I'll duplicate that length into 3 parts. You can duplicate it into like 5 parts, but I want to start by duplicating into 3, and I'm going to give you guys the reason why I'm doing that. Now, once I duplicate into 3, I'm going to take one of them, and because I'm making a bob, I need to be sure that this hair is facing inwards. It's flipping inward and not outward. Now I'm going to take my needle and thread I've already made. I will insert my needle into the weft. That part is called the weft. The part that is holding the hair is the weft. And I will insert into the cap. As you guys are all seeing now. I'm going to insert into the cap. Then I'll pull it out. I'm going to now pull it out. I've tied the end. Make sure you tie the end. And I'm going to insert inside the weft again. And I'll pull it out. You can see where I'm starting from. Then I'll tie 1, 2. I'll take my thread and put it around the needle 1, 2 times, then draw it out. Now the hair is going to be firmly held on the cap. After doing that, next thing I'm going to do is I'll start going under the weft through the cap. I will not put it inside the weft anymore. I'll go under it, as you guys can see, under it, into the cap. I'll pull it out, tie it twice, then pull it out. I'll do that again. Under it, through the cap, pull it out, tie twice, then pull out. Under the weft, through the cap, tie twice, and pull out. It's that easy, guys. That's how you're going to start making your wig. And for beginners, you can pin down your wig cap with your T-pins or board pin, so that the cap does not move around. Especially when you're a beginner, you don't want things to kind of be hard for you. Okay, so you guys can see that I'm sewing that from one end to the other end, and you can see my sewing is not wide apart. I have a video that I dedicated to teaching you guys how to sew your hair. So, and you can see the tip is going in. So it depends on the style you want to make. If you want your style to be bob, you have to make sure it's going in. If you want it to be feathers, you have to make sure it's coming out. Don't just flip the hair back and front. That's a lot of mistake a lot of us make. Except the hair is straight, you can flip it back and front. But if it is curvy, make sure you are laying it in a particular manner. So now I want to give some space before I put in my next hair, and I'm going to be giving about 1 inch space. I'll be taking it higher by 1 inch. You can see that. Then I'm going to sew the next line. Now, when you are sewing, you want to start from where the other weave-on stops, then move your hand up and meet where the other weave-on starts. Okay, so don't worry, I'm going to show you guys that. So this is my thread. It's out there. Every time you're starting a new hair, a new weft, you want to start by sewing the weft first. You guys know what the weft is. So I'm going to insert the weft. I'll do the same thing I did earlier. You can see that I'm putting it directly where the former one ended. You don't want to take it higher. I want to sound this. start where the former one ended. Do not take it higher, okay? Then as you are moving, then you can start giving that 1 inch space that I said earlier. But when you are starting, you want to start where the other one ends. They both have to be at the same side before you now start increasing at the back. Okay, so now that you know that, please don't make that mistake, because if you don't start where the former one stopped, your weave on is not going to be nice. Sorry, your wig is not going to be nice, and you are going to hate it. So save yourself the stress and make sure you do it the way I'm saying it now. Okay, please, I'm just sounding this so you guys can know how important this is when making your wig. So you can see now I'm taking it higher, and I'm just sewing. I'm going higher, and I'm just sewing. Okay, and that's how I'm going to sew till I get to the other end. And when I get to the other end, it's going to meet the hair where it starts on that side. So it's that easy, and you can see the space I left in between. And even this new hair I'm putting in, I'm making sure it's facing the bob way. It's curved inside, not outside, so that my hair is going to be curved inside. And I just told you guys why I'm doing that, because I don't want the ends to be flipping in and out and looking crazy, you know. If it's a bob you're making, let it be a bob. So you can see this is where I'm going to end this hair. You guys can see I ended it there, and now I'm starting a new one. I'm starting very close to the former one. This is what I'm emphasizing. Make sure you start very close to where you ended the first one. Then in the middle you can leave your 1 inch space and begin to go upwards, okay, so that your wig can have a good laying. So I'm pretty much just doing the same thing. I'm starting from that end, and gradually I'm going to increase my hand and take my weave upwards. Then as I get to the end, I'm going to end where I started the other one again. So that's how it goes. And that's how I'm going to just continue making my hair till I get to the front. So for now, I'm just simply doing the same thing. So I'm just doing the same thing, sewing my hair from left to right and right to left. And now I want to show you guys how the ends look like. You can see it's looking flipped inward, and our bob is beginning to form off. But if we did not cut this hair, if we're just turning it from left to right, it would not come out this way. So please guys, it's important that you do what I just did in this video. And now I want to show you guys now that I'm beginning to double my weft. When you are using a very limited amount of hair, at the beginning you want to go single by single. Then when you are getting a little bit higher, you can start thinking of doubling the hair, okay? And even when I'm doubling it, you can see that I didn't double to the end, because I want to start with the part that is curved inside first. You don't just want to double it, and fix it. You want to be sure that it's curved inside. So that's the part that is curved inside. After sewing from the beginning to that end that I doubled, I'm going to take another hair, comb it, and make sure it's curved inside, and I will add it to the other side for it to be doubled too. So I'm not just flipping my hair into two and just sewing it. You want to maintain this bob that you want to make. You want to maintain it, and you want to do it to the end. And I want you guys to know that this invisible pattern is not really easy, but if you pay attention, it's going to be very easy for you, because I'm going to teach you in such a way that you would really, really understand it. And it's not good for you to rush when making this hair. You want to be very patient, and you want to take your time. If you're tired, you can stop making the wig and continue the next day or in some few hours time. But don't rush this hair, because if you rush it, it's going to come out terribly. That's just the truth about this invisible pattern. So please follow my step and make sure to watch this video till the end. Okay, so now I'm just sewing my hair like I've been doing. I'm sewing from one end to the other. At the beginning, I start very close to the former one. At the back, I raise it up, and I make sure it's straight. You guys can see that my work is straight. It's not looking kind of bendy and all that. You want to make sure it's straight. We are all adults. You know when something is straight, and if it is not, you need to lose it and do it again, because you are practicing, and practice makes perfection. So don't be sad if you don't get it exactly like mine. Just make sure you are ready to lose your hair, and when you are losing this hair, make sure you are cutting the thread from the front, not in the cap, because when you are cutting the hair close to the cap might rip off the cap and ruin the cap. Okay, so I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still sewing my hair, and I'm just going to sew this up to a point, and I'll come back and show you guys what next. So at this point, I just kept doubling my weft, and you guys can see that this hair is really forming nicely. I just love how it looks, and you are seeing my sewing is neat. So please, I want your sewing to be like this. So now I want to show you guys something. You can see the other side of the ends is okay, but this side is different. Sometimes when you're making your wig, you always make that mistake, and you find out that both sides, you are not on the same level on both sides. Look at it very well. Look at this side, and the other side is different. Okay, so sometimes it happens. So what you need to do now is you need to fill up that cap so that it matches the other side. And how do we fill this up? It's very simple. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I just want you guys to really see that, because we are humans, sometimes we make mistakes, it's not balanced, so you have to go back and balance it yourself. You don't just leave it like that and continue. You have to make sure you balance it up yourself. So for me to balance this up, I'm going to be taking another hair, and I want to make sure I comb the hair and be sure that it's flipping inwards. Okay, so I'm going to use this to fill it up. I'm going to be filling from the front there all the way, but I'm going to place this in such a way that it's going to fill up. Then I'll stop at that part I'm showing you guys now. Okay, and I'll do that twice so that it can match up with the other side. Okay, so whenever you see that your hair is not balanced on the wig, you can go back and fill it up and make it balanced. Okay, so I've sewn the first one, and when I'm sewing at the end, I make sure I sew it and lap it over the former one that was there. And now I'm going to sew the second one just like I'm showing you guys on the screen. I'll sew it and make sure it laps on the hair there. I won't just leave it hanging when I finish. I'll make sure it laps. Can you guys see that? I'll make sure it laps directly over there. So now you guys can see I'm sewing at the end. I will make sure I sew the weft itself, okay, so that it doesn't lose after some few days or weeks. Now that I've done this, I'm sure that my hair is secured. Okay, so I won't just sew it and just leave it hanging. I'll make sure it's meeting another hair there. Okay, and I hope you guys understand this though. I'm sure you do. So I'm going to go ahead and sew one more hair before I start making the finishing and the front. So I'm going to go around one more time. Okay, so once I do that, you guys are going to see how it looks like. But for now, you are seeing that the hair is so beautiful and it's looking really, really great. So now I've sewn the last one, and you can see that I have something like a U shape. So this is the U shape I'm talking about, and this point too is also the point where you start to make your fringe. In the next video, you're going to see me making fringe in the next video. So it's the same pattern up to this point. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing my hair. As you can see how I'm doing it, I'm going to be sewing it straight from the beginning, from the front to the back, straight from the front to the back. Don't worry guys, you're going to see how this is done very soon. So what I want to do now is simple. I just want to sew my hair from straightwards. You can see the space I left. You can make yours fuller. It depends on how you want the front to be. So I'm using the shortest hair I have here now, and I'm going to open it up, comb it, and then I'm going to start sewing. So I'm pretty much just sewing straight, okay, and it's just that easy. You can see how I'm sewing straight, like that. If it's a center pattern, I'm going to stop at that line, okay, and sew the other side straight to that middle. But with a side pattern, I'm going to stop after the line for my side pattern. And today I'm making a side pattern. I love side pattern a lot, like it fits me so much. So I'm just sewing straight, and I just want you to see how I end it. I make sure I sew it on top of that hair at the back before I cut it off. I don't just leave it hanging. I'm going to keep emphasizing this. When you're making a wig, you don't leave any hair hanging. It has to be meeting another hair. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew another one, and I'll continue sewing straight till I get to my side pattern that I want to make. Okay, and for this part you can decide to use about maybe 3 or 4 wefts. It depends on how high you want your pattern to be, and this is why we call this a costume wig, because you can now decide how you want your hair to be. If you want the pattern to be really high, you're going to add more weave on in the front. You can add like 4 doubles. You can double it into 4 when sewing it. But this one, I can say I think I doubled into 3 or 4 here. I was showing you guys something now, and it depends. You can do that to make your front really high or not too high or just average. So it's a costume wig, and you can decide how you want your front to be. That's why I love the invisible pattern wig, and that's why I love the kind of wigs we make, and that's why I love to make wigs by hand too. But you can also make these wigs with sewing machine. Once you can make with your hand, sewing machine is going to be very easy. All you need to do is use a chalk to draw out the patterns that you already know, and then you sew using that pattern that you drew out. So it's really easy. So this is like the hardest, and I love to start with the hardest for you guys, because once you can do this, you can do different kind of wigs. So you can see that I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just sewing, and now I'm getting very close to the part where I'm going to start making my invisible pattern, and I'm just sewing the last one here. And like I said, every time you're starting a wig, make sure you sew the beginning of the weft, and you can see that I'm trying to lap it with the old one. This is what I'm saying, guys. So make sure you lap it with the old one. So I'm just going to sew from that end to the other side. this hair is not really like full human hair, so you don't want to use a really hot iron in the front. So I just heat it up a little bit, and with my shea butter it's gonna flatten out and look really nice. So you guys can see the finished product of this hair. It's beautiful, the pattern is unique, there's no frontal or whatever, it looks beautiful, and this is the hair on me. So thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to see your work. I'm really excited, and I'm waiting to see what you guys are going to make. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. So now that I'm almost done sewing this, I can see that my pattern is not looking very straight because of the other side is kind of curved at the end there, and I really don't like that. So I'm going to take a single weft, and I'm going to be using my hair bond, okay, and I'm going to apply the hair bond on the weft, okay. And I've made sure I've combed this into a bob. Before all the hair I made, I combed them into a bob before laying them. Don't forget that. You can see I've applied this, okay. Now I'm just going to glue it down there. If you have a like a spray gel, you can spray it on it to dry and make it stronger. But the secret of this bond is that once you place it on, you don't want to move it, and you want to just press it down for some few minutes and then leave it for 3 minutes, then come back. It's going to be firm and dried, so it's just easy, okay. Or you can try and blow it out, okay. So the reason I didn't sew that part was because it was so close that I didn't want to risk the fear of ripping my cap, because that part is so tight. So when you're trying to insert needle and draw it out, you might rip the cap. So this is the pattern that we're going to be making now. So I'm going to get, for using synthetic hair, you find out that it has these sharp ends at the mouth there that I'm showing you. So I'm going to trim it out with my scissors so that there will be no sharp ends when I'm making my pattern. So I'm just going to trim all the hair I'm going to be using for the front, and it's a lot, guys. At least it's a lot. So but you can just start trimming as you make, and at least trim. You can trim all the hair you have that's remaining, since it's still going to be okay if you trim that, so that you don't have to leave what you're doing and go back and start trimming it again. So you can see how I did it. I trimmed it over and over and over again. Okay, so now I'm going to comb my hair into a bob, and once I'm sure it's a bob, I'm going to place it there, and then I'll cut it. Once I place it there, then I'll cut from one end to the other end. I'm going to cut it off, okay. And then I'm going to duplicate that one I cut. And if you're someone like me, you can always know the size, because I've been making wig for a while now. I can just predict the size and just cut about 20 or 30 pieces more. But if you don't know how to do that, make sure you place it on there and just cut maybe 10 pieces first. You can see that the beginning is a bit close, but the ending is a bit wider, so you don't want to cut everything, because as you get to the end, you're going to be needing wider and wider hair to fill in the spaces at the end. So now I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to try to curve this into something like a U. As you guys can see what I'm doing, I'm just stretching it out so that to give me a curve. You can see that. And I'm going to apply my top bond there, okay. And once I do that, I'm going to place it at the beginning. And you can spray your spray gel on the pattern first before you start doing this, but I didn't do that for you guys to see that you can still make this hair without using spray gel. So I'm just going to place it there, and once you place it there, you don't want to move it, you just want to hold it down for a while, then leave it. Don't go back and press and press and press. Just put it there and leave it. It's going to dry, okay. And you want to make sure that the glue does not stain your hand, because when it stains your hand and you're trying to press it down, it's going to pull out the hair again. So be careful that it doesn't stain your hands when you're applying the glue to the hair, okay. So now I'm putting on the next one, and it is very close to the first one. I want to emphasize this. If it is not close to the first one, when you are done making this pattern, it's going to be not good. You end up pulling everything out because the cap is going to start showing when you're opening this pattern. So please, you have to be patient. You have to be very patient, and you have to place it very close to the last one. In fact, no spacing. Just keep placing it gradually. This thing takes time, guys. It takes time, trust me. So let me just prepare your mind now. It's going to take your time. It's not as fast as it is on the video. It's going to take your time, and you want to make sure you trim out all the sharp ends of the hair, and you want to make sure you curve each and every one of the hair, and make sure you measure the spacing before you cut, then curve it, and make sure you place it close to the former one. It's not really hard, but it's all about how patient you are. If you're not patient, this hair is not going to be fine, or it's not going to be looking beautiful. Okay, so make sure you do it exactly the way I'm saying now. Okay, please, I beg you guys, please, because I want your first week to be gorgeous like mine. You're going to see that this hair is going to be so beautiful when I'm done. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just holding it down, and I'll allow my breeze to just like dry it off completely by itself. So now we are getting to the end, and you guys are going to see how I make the end pretty soon. Okay, and my friend is assisting me. She's assisting me with trim. I think that one she didn't trim it out, so it came out. So she assisted me. So you guys, you have to trim yours really well. So you can see that the circle is getting smaller, and we are trying to form something like a circle here, and you guys are going to see how I'm going to close this up now, and it will come out beautifully. So once we are approaching the end of this hair, I am going to apply my next one on the other side in a U part to complete the circle. You can see that, and you want to hold this down for a while so that it sticks to the cap. Okay, and you want to make sure your glue is not rubbing off everywhere. You can see my glue is not messing up the hair. Please try to be careful with your glue. Okay, you can see it's not messing up everywhere now. So this is how I'm going to keep laying it. Now my cutting is going to be smaller, and I'm just going to try to complete the circle by making it form like a U pattern, and I'm just going to try to complete that circle. It's easy, and you just have to be patient and be ready to just so that's it. So I'm just gradually completing the finishing. I'm reducing my cutting of my hair now so that it can completely fit in. So this is the last one we did now, and then we went ahead and sewed all the extra ribbon we had, because it's better for you to have extra ribbon at the end than for you to run out of hair. So we are just sewing the extra hairs we have. We're just opening it up and just sewing inside so that it will have volume. Okay, so you can do that at the end if you have extra. So now I want to open up my pattern, and it's completely dried. I left this for 30 minutes. See, I'm using my needle to just open up the center of that pattern and see how gorgeous that is. You can see there is no space, none of the cap is showing. So if you open yours and the cap is showing, just know that you made a mistake. Okay, and you have to redo it. Okay, but I pray that it doesn't happen that way. I pray that you follow my instruction, and I pray that it comes out looking like this. So this is the pattern. Don't worry, we are not done. It's going to come out looking very, very good. So I'm just going to try to comb this out, and if you comb this out, you're going to see that everything is going to be in a bob way, because even when I was putting the pattern, I was making sure my hair was facing the bob way before I started applying the glue and laying it on. So you have to be consistent with that. You have to make sure from the beginning to the end you check the tip of your hair and make sure it's flipping in if you're making bob, or flipping out if you're making, flip out feathers and all that. So this is how the pattern is looking like. So I'm going to take my shea butter and I'm going to apply the shea butter to the pattern. But first I have to trim this out a little bit. Okay. You don't want to trim it out too much, because if you do, you might end up cutting some ribbon. So I'm applying my shea butter there, just everywhere there. And after I'm done applying the shea butter, I'm going to be using heat on it. So the shea butter is going to make that pattern really melt. But if you don't have like a iron, coiler, you can just apply the shea butter and just, leave it out in the sun or something, so that that part just, smoothing out. So I'm using my coiling iron. I heated it up a little bit, guys, very, very little bit, and then you can see I unplugged it.